Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys, finally, the second part in the War of the Dwarves and Elves. Now, first, before we get into this, I would like to apologize for this taking so long, but like I said before, it really was really hard to balance the matches, actually. The Dwarves just kept winning, like, with still, like, 50% of their army left. But, this one isn't incredibly close, but it still is much closer than the other ones had been, to be sure, so that's why I did decide to upload it. Now, this is actually a home field advantage for the Elves because they are, of course, defending an Elven citadel, fortress. I don't know what you want to call it because this is on the Thranduil's Halls map. So, but don't worry because the next one will be with the Dwarves defending Moria against the Elves, against the Alliance of the Elves. But also, I would like to kind of stretch this out at least until Reforged 1.0 comes out because that way we could also do battles on the redone Rivendell as well as maybe the have some Linden elves in here, like with that as a new faction in the War of the Dwarves and Elves, because I think that would actually be kind of cool. But anyway, so before we get any further, I will go ahead and start off with the army comps, beginning with my ally Dark Elven King, who is over here. Now, he has one unit of Nolder Elder Nobles right here, which is where his general is. A very, very elite Elven unit, have extremely long-range missiles and incredible damage both in melee and in missile, where they are, of course, very expensive. He also has 3 units of Eldrainway Swordsmen. A nice heavily armored shock infantry unit. Definitely thrive in the actual fight. However, because they do not have shields, they can be shot down very easily, especially by the likes of the Dwarven crossbows, who have pretty limited range. He also has 2 units of Eldrainway Spearmen, who are rather better than the Sylvan Heavy Spearmen because they do have hit points and I think like 50-something defense, so they can definitely hold the line well. Over here, you can see his other unit of Eldrainway Spearmen and a unit of Eldrainway Swordsmen. He also has 2 units of Linden Longspears, who I find are very underrated. They actually can do very, very well. As in a support role, like if you give them support of maybe something a little bit heftier, like the Eldrainway Swordsman, or even some like Sword Quindy or something, they can actually do very well and kill quite a lot of troops for a low tier pike unit. So yeah, he has 2 of them. He also has up here, he has 2 units of Bow Quindy, 1 here, 1 on the other side, and 2 units of Eldrainway Archers. The Eldrainway Archers are of course very good because they are AP. Bow Quindy, while not AP, are actually not bad because they are of course very accurate and can put down the hurt if allowed to fire for long enough. Over here, though, you can see the next Elven player who's being commanded by, who is Tundra's Fox, and he is commanding the army of the Woods of, I was reading the unit name, he is commanding the army of Lothlorien. He has 1 unit of Sentinels of the Woodland Realm, which they're a pretty decent cheap archer unit. They can put down a lot of arrow fire in a short period of time. However, as you can see, they are really lightly armored and can be shot down very easily. Also has 1 unit of Sylvan Staff Masters, who are definitely good at like bogging down the enemy, but they can't kill anything because they have like 8 attack and but they have like 86 defense, so they can definitely like just keep the enemy in place for a while you try to shoot them or get some more reinforcements to that area. 2 units of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, like I said, a little bit worse than the Eldrainway Spearmen because of the lack of hit points. Also, they have quite a lot lower defense, but I believe they are quite a bit cheaper. Is 4 units of Sylvan Axemen, who are very nice because they are a sword and shield axe unit who are AP, which as a whole is mostly the thing that the elves lack most is AP in melee, so it is very nice that he has them. They also have the armor upgrades. By the way, I think these units with the armor upgrades look absolutely stupendous. The Sylvan Heavy units also can have that unit model, but the only thing is you have to give them both armor upgrades rather than just one for the Sylvan Axemen. Anyway, he also has 2 units of Woodland Warriors back here, you can see. Nice shock infantry unit, again, AP. Lothlorien definitely has the most AP in melee out of all the Elven forces. And yeah, they have a pretty nice charge bonus too. The only thing is if you keep them in melee for too long against the higher defense values of like the Dwarven units, they will get cut down relatively quickly. He also has 1 ballista you can see over here. And his general is in the unit of Galadrim Veteran Warriors, who are a very nice unit. They're mostly focused on melee. They do have bows, however they run out of ammo very, very quickly, which is rather unfortunate because they are a very, very excellent unit otherwise. Oh, also, I think I did forget to mention that Dark Elven King also has 1 unit of Phallus Lords, 1 unit of Smiths of a Region. I believe that's the only AP melee unit that the High Elves actually have at the moment. He also has 1 Catapult. Now, I'll go over my army composition for the Dwarven Defenders last, as you will see in a moment the reason why. So I have 1 unit of Elder Royal Council and an incredibly elite archer unit. They are very expensive, I believe they're like 1700 florins. But as you can see, they are already reloading and beginning to fire at these Ironfoot crossbowmen who are deployed a little bit too close to this side. You can see that their range is absolutely incredible. That is where my general is, you can see him right there. Also, they're all they're just absolutely beast in melee. I prefer them to the Galadrim Veteran Warriors because while they do seem a little bit worse in melee, they have just so much more ammo, so a little bit better in my opinion. Also have one catapult, and then over here you can see my whole army just blobbed up, all hiding under this one tree. They're all hiding under this one tree. Anyway, I have 6 units of Forest Bladesmen, who really should not be underestimated. I believe a lot of people kind of do. They have like 18 attack, 31 defense, and because they're light infantry, I believe that the AP of the Dwarven units would actually kind of be wasted on them, even though they do have like relatively high defense, but because they are light infantry, I'm not sure if that actually does count towards the AP. I also have 4 units of Hiraedirith, who are nice, holding the line, well, not really holding the line, standard sword and shield infantry of the Woodland Realms. Pretty cheap, but also pretty effective. I also have 2 units of Forest Wardens, who are just like the Forest Bladesmen, but with a spear rather than a sword. I also have 2 units of Elder Council, 1 unit of, what are they called? I'm trying to see in there. One of the Woodland Sentinels, that's what they're called. I like them because they are AP and actually do have a lot of ammo, however, just like the other low-tier archer units over there. Well, mid-tier, really. They can get skirmished down very easily because of their lack of armor. I also have 2 units of, what are they called? 2 units of Elder Council, who are the Javelin unit. Very, very nice, especially to use against the heavily armored Dwarven units and just the Lyca units. Similar. I also have 1 unit of Elder Royal Guard. However, they are okay. They're expensive. They're like 1,350 florins, and they do have quite a lot of missile damage, and they are AP in melee because they have two-handed axes. However, they really do not have that much ammo, which kind of makes them not super great, but still, they're a pretty decent high-tier archer unit. And we also have 1 catapult, and that pretty much wraps it up for the defenders. We will now start with the attacking armies, starting with Reprise. He has 2 units of Ironfoot crossbowmen right now, and you will, in just a second here, they're going to definitely get the hurt put on them by my Elder Royal Council for being deployed too closely. Over here, you can also see where his main army is. He has 1 Ballista, 2 units of Ironfoot pikemen, 2 units of Khazad warriors, 2 units of airborne infantry, 1 unit of merchant militia, 1 unit of Ironfoot spears. All this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much everything of it as AP, except for maybe the pikemen and the merchant militia. And maybe the spears too, because they are just pretty like mid-tier spear unit. Also has 1 unit of Mithril Guard, which is where his general is, 1 unit of guards of Khazad-dûm, 1 unit of Hammers of Gundabad, and 1 unit of Axemen of Erebor. All very self-explanatory indeed. Most of it is shock infantry, except for these 2 units back here, who are also AP, but just with a one-handed axe and a shield instead of a 2-handed axe or hammer. Over here, though, the second army is being commanded by Pizza Maker 90. He has 1 unit of Guards of Khazad-dûm, which is where you can see his general is right over there. He has 3 units of Ironfoot crossbowmen, 1 right here, 2 a little bit further up. He also has 3 units of Ironfoot Guard, a nice sturdy line infantry. They do have 2 hit points, I believe, which is very nice, but they do not. But they are actually not AP like the rather cheaper Ironfoot warriors, who I mostly like to bring the Ironfoot warriors rather than the Ironfoot Guard, mostly just because they are cheaper and because of the AP. He also has 2 units of airborne infantry, who are also AP with hit points, 1 catapult, 1 unit of Axemen of Erebor, and I believe that's pretty much it. Oh no, yeah, he has 4 units of Ironfoot warriors who are in shield wall protecting his Ironfoot crossbowmen. And over here, the third army is being commanded by TR Egg Slopped on Top Medieval 2 Total War. He has 2 units of Ironfoot Guard. No, I believe he actually has 3 units of Ironfoot Guard. 2 are right here. I believe the other one is hidden somewhere over there. He also has 1 unit of Mithril Guard, 1 unit of Sons of the Fallen, which the Sons of the Fallen is actually where his general is, which is not a bad idea because that does allow you to use your Mithril Guard pretty much however you want. Almost throw them in right away if that is what you choose to do. Also has 1 catapult, and let me see here if I can actually read my handwriting. He also has, yeah, 2 airborne infantry, 3 Ironfoot Guard. And I can't read my handwriting actually, but you can expect just a pretty standard Dwarven army. It does seem like he went for definitely a more expensive, low numbers army rather than his allies, which I'm not sure if that's a totally wise idea because the dwarves have small unit numbers as it is. By the way, this is on huge unit settings with a 3v4, which I thought was kind of cool. Anyway, we'll go over here now to the 4th and final army of the dwarves. Now this is MEJTZ, and he has 1 unit of Mithril Guard, which is where his general is, 2 units of Ironfoot crossbows, 1 unit of Ironfoot axe throwers, 3 units of Ironfoot Guard, 2 units of airborne infantry, 4 units of Dwarven miners, who are not to be underestimated. They're 350 florins, so pretty cheap, but they're also cost effective because they are AP with their pickaxes. He also has 2 units of Ironfoot halberds, again AP, nice halberd unit. pretty good at holding the line, and not too bad at attacking. Pikes and halberds in general for attacking is not a bad idea if you can get them to the melee without getting shot to death first. Also has one of the very fearsome Sons of Durin. Very deadly shock infantry unit with their hammers. He also has, yeah, there's his other crossbowman unit. Anyway, without any further ado, we will go ahead and start the battle off. Now, obviously, what I'm going to do first is try to get my units over to this area, because this is basically the edge of where I was able to deploy, so I had to run my units over there as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, I am using my Elder Royal Council to just butcher these poor Ironfoot crossbows right here. You will see in just a second the volley coming in. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Okay, they're firing the missiles now. So this unit is at 137 fully healthy, and now let's see how low they get to. Ooh, that's just absolutely deadly. I think I heard somewhere on the Discord that the elves have like 97 maybe % accuracy, which is like absolutely insane because most of the men units only have like 80 something % accuracy, and orcs are somewhere around there too as well. But yeah, look at that. That was just crazy. 30 of the dwarven crossbowmen going down after the first volley, and some more going down following those. Oh, that's just absolutely crazy. He's trying to pull them out, but putting them in loose formation as well, which is not a bad idea, but still, that's a rather costly mistake right there. He also is moving back as well. I thought he was moving it forward, but no, he's just moving back. And over here, though, you can see some rather interesting things going on. Pizza Maker 90 is moving around some of his infantry and stuff. And over here you can see Egg slopped on top of level 2 Total War's army kind of coming into view. He's got 2 units of airborne infantry, some Dwarven noblemen, and some Sons of Durin. So yeah, definitely a very elite but low numbers army. And you can see that most of my infantry has gotten into their place before the dwarves were able to get there. And just, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think this looks like a very excellent target for artillery? Because I do, and apparently Pizza Maker 90 also thought this was a very good target, because you will see some excellent artillery right in the very beginning of this battle. And actually, this battle has a ton of really good artillery, so be sure to stick around and watch it, the whole thing. Okay, here it comes. Ooh. Oh, that was just absolutely insane. The second volley, not doing as much, a little bit, taking out a few of my Elder Royal Guard and some of my Hiri-Dirith. But for the most part, it was that first volley that was just absolutely terribly deadly. I mean, look how many of my troops were lost right there. I believe one of my Hiri-Dirith, who started at like 113, went down all the way to 86, yes. And then also in that same catapult hit, like 30 of my Forest Bladesmen got killed because they start at 141 and this one's already down to 114. You can see another volley coming in, however this one is going to miss all my units. And you can see to try to stop this, I'm using my Woodland Sentinels to really target down this catapult crew. And you can see pretty much it's just getting absolutely destroyed right now. It only has like, what, yeah, 22 crew members left, and I'm going to keep firing it pretty much until the crew is entirely dead. To try to stop this, Pizza Maker 90 is going to try to bring up his 2 units of airborne infantry to soak up the arrow fire and protect his artillery crew. However, they are going to get there too late. As you can see, even more of the catapult crew is going down. Oh, yeah, the accuracy of the elves is just absolutely insane. It also did not help that this crew was in not tight formation. Can't speak. Ooh, look at that, and some return artillery by my catapult, taking out quite a few of those Ironfoot Guard and a little bit of the Ironfoot crossbowmen right there as well. And you can see that is the last catapult crew after tanking quite a few arrows finally going down. So right at the beginning of the battle, I was able to retaliate for that brutal hit by his artillery. You also see some Dwarven noblemen over here actually popping up from hiding. I did not know that. The 2 units of Dwarven noblemen are on the field. And over here you can see Tundra's Fox is beginning to fire his ballista at Eggsloft on top's catapult, actually taking out 2 already, which is very good for us. So the enemy artillery is really not doing too well. You can see though that they are starting to bring forward a lot of infantry, so we have accordingly set up some of our own infantry. The tough part about this position right here is if you set up guys right here, it will allow your enemy to set up crossbows in this case, just to fire and just absolutely murder all of your defenders right here. So I'm definitely not surprised that Tundra's is trying to kind of wait it out a little bit and allow the enemies to kind of come up the hill pretty much as far as they want. And you can see I have set up 2 units of my Forest Wardens right here just to kind of start up my defense line. Also, my Elder Royal Council are firing at some Ironfoot Warriors down there who, not because they don't have nearly as many as much defense as the Ironfoot Guard will, as you can see, drop a lot of numbers right there. Also, it does not really help that they're in shield wall because they're just going to be tanking even more arrows. I really wasn't too sure why they had all these units in shield wall, especially because if the catapult had hit one of these units, it would have taken out pretty much half of the unit right away. You can see some Boquendi firing, or maybe some Elderman archers as well, firing at those Ironfoot warriors as well. And over here you can see that the Dwarves allies have pretty much moved all the way in. You can see Reprise back there, and you can also see an EJTZ over there. I was trying to fire at some of these Ironfoot crossbows, but I pretty much only fired a couple volleys at them because he had very smartly placed his Ironfoot guard with his Ironfoot crossbows, which pretty much protected his crossbows very effectively because the Ironfoot guard, of course, can take arrow fire much better than the crossbows. Okay, so both Pizza Maker 90 and Egg Slopped on Top Medieval 2 Total War are setting up quite a bit of infantry right now. You can see that unit of Ironfoot Warriors is just taking arrows like crazy, but because they do have very nice shields, and they're not really getting fired at from the flank too much, they will not drop as many as they had back there. Anyway, let's go ahead and look over here at the defenses of Dark Elven King. He's got one of Linden Long Spears right there. And looks like Tundra's Fox has also sent over quite a bit of his infantry as well. In the form of the Axemen. Holy cow, he might actually have 5 units of them. I did not know that. No, 4. My bad. So yeah, the center is definitely very well defended. So yeah, just like all siege battles, it does kind of start slow, but with some excellent artillery, you can see right there, my forest wardens actually, who I actually had put them into shield wall, and Reprise had definitely made me pay for that, because in shield wall he was able to get his ballista in range and absolutely just take out a large number of my forest wardens right there, and that's going to be pretty much doing that the whole game until it runs out of ammo, which was very unfortunate, because anything we put here was just going to get absolutely hammered by the ballista, which is not good, because it pretty much meant that if we put any elite units there, they would just get taken out by artillery before they were able to do anything worth their cost. Yeah, you can see back here I just have my horde of Forest Bladesmen, some Elder Royal Guard, and then back here is where I have my more elite stuff. I also have 2 units of Cinder Blade Masters. I don't think I mentioned that. As you can see, the dwarves slowly coming into the battle. You can see some Merchant Militia and some Ironfoot Spears marching forward, both in loose formation. And over here you can see that the dwarves are starting to get closer. It seemed like they barely walked at all, but that of course is one of the dwarves' main problems, is how slow they are. This is a very nice blob, so I do believe I am firing my catapult now. We had decided that Dark Elven King should probably put his catapult back there by the bridge, just so in case we were pushed back, we would be able to have a catapult in that main area. Ooh, taking out a large number of those Ironfoot Warriors. Unfortunately, though, that is a rather cheap unit, but still, every hit counts. Yes, we definitely did not want to fire any of our archers yet, because these are pretty cheap units. The Ironfoot Guard and the Airborne Infantry, of course, are not very cheap. However, they do have massive shields, and if you just fire straight at their shield, it's really not going to do that much damage. However, as you can see, they are going towards Tundra's Fox. I believe they really didn't think that he would be able to set up a defense in order to protect his ballista. He actually was able to, which is very nice. You can see the 4 units of Dwarven Miners by MEJTZ are also being brought forward. Pretty much right off the bat, they're deciding not to go right towards the middle. They are actually opting to go for both of the flanks, which is not a bad idea. However, unfortunately, my catapult is going to have an excellent shot at any of the units they send up this way, not to mention my archers, and that pretty much goes for both sides. As we speak, a catapult firing, right into that blob, taking out a large number of those airborne infantry, which is definitely a much better target than the Khazad Warriors, or no, Ironfoot Warriors or the Ironfoot Guard. You can see the Ironfoot Warriors over here making their way towards my Forest Bladesmen. I also did send up my unit of depleted Hiradir. Well, not too depleted, but the one that got artilleried to kind of help out my forest wardens who would be able to hold the line for some time, but not really be able to super great against the likes of the Ironfoot warriors. You can see that ballista though just taking out more and more of my forest wardens the whole time. Ironfoot warriors are now going to march in, but I believe the melee fight has begun actually over here, so we'll take a quick look over here. Yes, some woodland warriors and some sylvan staff masters are in the melee against some airborne infantry. Now the woodland warriors will be able to reasonably well against the airborne infantry, but after a while the airborne infantry will definitely win without too much trouble. I think I'm going to lower the sound actually a little bit. There we go. I don't want the sound to be so loud that you guys can't even hear me talking. That'd be rather unfortunate. So my catapult, taking out a few more of those airborne infantry right there. Ooh, just missing. And over here you can see some more Dwarven miners, as well as some Axemen of Erebor, who are currently getting shot to pieces right now by Dark Elven King's Elven Archers, which is definitely, yeah, that's definitely a good target, because as a shock infantry, you know, oh, look at that! Right in the middle of that Erebor infantry and Ironfoot Guard. That unit of Erebor infantry is really not having a good day. They're just getting absolutely wrecked by artillery. Let's watch that. Let's watch some more. Ooh. Another good hit, but that was mostly into the Ironfoot Guard, I believe. A little bit of friendly fire on that last hit, though. Actually, more than a little bit. That was actually quite a lot of friendly fire. Tundra's Fox is also sent forward a unit of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, as well as a unit of Sylvan Heavy Axemen, by the way, because the dwarves are really, really pushing hard right now. My catapult is just not stopping. It just keeps firing over and over at these poor units. However, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna get more friendly fire than enemies killed, because you can see the dwarves are really starting to thin right there. And over here, though, you can see that my forces are really starting to have some troubles. The front line of Forest Wardens has just been absolutely cut down by these two units of Ironfoot warriors, and not far behind them is a third. So it's definitely looking pretty grim over here at the moment, especially with the advancing forces of some merchant militia and some more Dwarven miners. So I will actually send over some more units this way in a bit, but I mostly just wanted to not get wrecked instantly by that ballista, who is still, you can see, firing. I don't know how it was firing from way over there. I was actually not able to fire my catapult at them. It was rather interesting, but yeah. Unfortunately, though, because of the way this is kind of set up, it's really rather hard to get catapults and javelins and anything like that, archers, to fire from this side into this area. So I was really not able to have any missile support in that respect. You can see that I am sending over a couple units of Forest Bladesmen, though, to kind of help out my infantry. Over here, though, I have stopped firing my catapult because you can see that there's really not too many dwarves right now, because the elves are really, really pushing down far. However, if he's not careful, like I said before, he's going to get crossbowed right there, so that will be a very, very interesting to see what he does. You can see that even though there is a large number of dwarves right here, they're really not pushing forward, not pressing their advantage in their weight, because the elves are rather light. They can't really hold much back unless they have quite a lot of numbers, or in case it's like a pike unit. So it really kind of surprised me how he wasn't trying to push through my lines, because that, even though that would have cost him quite a few troops, it would have definitely been better for him than it had. It would have definitely been much better than how you just sat here fighting. Use the merchant militia and miners trying to sneak their way around this side right now, because it obviously is very weak because of that ballista, and I'm not going to right away. I'm definitely not going to try to get my units killed right away, so I'm not going to send anything that way. Unfortunately, though, my catapult is running out of ammo. I believe I will run out of ammo fairly soon here. That airborne infantry that was sent by Pizza Maker is going to suffer, because even though they weren't taken out by my catapult, they had to turn their backs in order to run away. Because their backs were turned, their shields were of no use to them, and you can see, I believe, the Elven archers of Dark Elven King, as well as a lot of my own archers, are just absolutely hammering into those airborne infantry. And even if they don't take out too many, it's definitely going to shave off their hit points, which is very good because that is a rather elite Dwarven unit. You can see my Forest Bladesmen, my Heridirth in full fight against Pizza Makers, Ironfoot Warriors, Merchant Militia, and Miners. Oh, And look at this, the Axemen of Erebor were just absolutely destroyed. There's just a line of bodies of those Axemen of Erebor. I believe there were only like a few that actually got into the fight, if any at all. Dark Elven King's Elder and White Archers definitely did work against those Axemen of Erebor. Yes, and you can see the Erebor infantry are starting to lose numbers because their hit points have been shaven off. And yeah, that was just a rather costly mistake that he had to run them away because of that. Ooh, I just feel so bad because the elves have just such excellent range, and the dwarves are just getting shot in the back like absolutely crazy. You can see this unit is already down to 61 and still taking losses because of the insane range of the elves. See, the ballista is still firing now, trying to go for my Hiri, I believe, who are down to 30. But I do have some Eldritch Council over here who are going to begin firing their javelins right into this midst right here. Right into the midst. I don't know. I can't speak English. I'm sorry. They're trying to, but unfortunately it was only like this corner that was actually able to throw arrows. However, I am getting some nice archer support from some bow Quindy over here, I believe. And over here. Oh, you can see the Dwarven Miners and Merchant Militia really starting to push through. I do have a unit of Forest Bladesmen here ready to stop them, but I did not want to put them into the melee right here just because of that darned ballista. As you can see some even more art. Okay, I'll cut that out. Okay, you can see I have committed my Forest Bladesmen right here, and I'm also getting some nice archer support from the Elderly Archers and bow Quindy. Ooh, however, right when they got in the melee, they instantly were getting fired at by those, or by that ballista, which is definitely unfortunate because I have committed a lot of my infantry right here. Pretty much, I think I only have like a few units of my Forest Bladesmen left. I think, yeah, only like 3 out of 6, so definitely I'm having to commit a lot of infantry right here. However, because the Merchant Militia is really not that good, and the Dwarven Miners have relatively low attack and defense stats, they will be cut down somewhat easy. Well, definitely more easily than these Ironfoot Warriors, anyway. Who are now very tired, but I believe most of my infantry... No, they're just warmed up, so that's good. Let me see here. Yes, over here, the fight is starting to get a little bit more evened out. You can see these Sylvan Axemen down to 63 now, the Sylvan Heavy Spearmen are 45, but there are still quite a few of these Sylvan Staff Masters. But this is going to be a relatively slow fight because it is just Dwarven Miners and Ironfoot Spears, so that's going to be... That fight's going to be there for a while. Ooh, you can see a very sneaky move right here. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. That was not sneaky. I thought that was Tundra's Fox doing that, but no. I was actually trying to get my Elder Council around this way to throw javelins at the fight up here, but I actually lost a micro of this unit and they just got cut down. I was going to say it was a sneaky move because Tundra's Fox, who has some Elder Council right here, actually did do that to great effect and was able to get off a nice javelin volley into the shield wall Ironfoot Guard before running away and without taking any casualties. The Dwarves have still not committed any units right here in the middle. Looks like some more Ironfoot Guard, this time by MEJTZ, is beginning to march forward. And over here you can see that the fight right here is starting to slowly turn into my favor. The Dwarves are definitely starting to thin out, definitely helped out by the fact that those that unit of Merchant Militia just routed. Right here, though, there is still quite a large number of Ironfoot Warriors. My Hiri Deer Thrower now down to 5. Yes. Okay. Dang, those elves are fast. Okay, looks like that the two very depleted units of Pizza Maker are being brought up now. They're not going to be super great. Well, this one isn't anyway, because their hit points are pretty much all gone by this time, and that one is relatively low numbers. This one still has 87 troops left, but still getting fired at from the back. Also, the nice thing is that they still are AP. Also, the 70 Merchant Militia have come back from routing. Oof. And those merchant militia are just taking a beating. I believe the archers up there were going, the Sindar archers of Thunder's Fox were going for the airborne infantry, but just because the merchant militia were in the way, they took a lot of losses. Ooh, yeah. The Dwarven units over here just taking an absolute beating. Let's look at what it's right now. Okay, it's 14% allies killed to 30% enemies killed, so it's definitely in our favor at the moment. Oh, those poor airborne infantry are just getting absolutely butchered by arrows. Let's see some Ironfoot Guard actually being brought over here, as well as 3 more units of Ironfoot Guard of MEJTZ are being brought forward. I believe they'll be committed to the left, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. We'll go over here and watch this fight for a while. Can see now that the dwarves are pretty depleted, but unfortunately for Thunder's Fox, his ballistic kind of got a little too far forward. I don't know if it has ammo left, and he's trying to pull it out, but he's just having a little bit of trouble doing that.
Enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
So one of the Dwarven armies has now lost half of their men, as you probably just heard. Okay, yeah, you can see. Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So all 3 of the units of Ironfoot Guard are of MEJTZ are being brought forward right here. They're all completely healthy with all their hit points and everything. But over here you can see the rather depleted unit of Ironfoot Guard from Eggs slopped on top is also being brought forward. Because right here you can see that pretty much all of the Dwarven infantry has been dealt with, and I still have a pretty nice main line right here to deal with anything that comes up. Yeah, so they were definitely, pretty much the whole battle, they were really focused on trying to get through this side. So there was a lot of battling definitely on this area, at this area. Okay, yeah. Now you can see, now that the Ironfoot Guard are showing their sides and backs, they are going to be getting targeted like absolutely crazy from the archers up on the wall. Also see that the ballista was targeting my javelins right here and took out a whole row right there. Definitely not a bad target to go for. So I am going to run with my Elder Council. They are going to take some more. Oh no, I take it back. They must be out of javelins. So they are going to be committed right here in this area. Okay, now you can see that the dwarves are starting to push through, starting to use their just weight and strength to kind of push through our lines, which is definitely not a bad idea. You can see my forces are starting to thin, and Thunder's Fox has actually sent over, Woodland Warriors to help me out, which is very nice because they are AP. And I am going to make another unit of Forest Bladesmen. Yeah, a lot of my Forest Bladesmen actually did not do bad at all. I think they're a pretty good unit, especially because they're a rather cheap unit, which is very nice because for the most part the elves are very expensive. There are actually only 3 of my Hiri Deerth left now. Still fighting hard. Oof. Yeah, I must say I really do like the unit model of the Ironfoot Guard. They look very nice. They look straight out from The Hobbit, which is not a bad thing at all. Ooh, we can see some Forest Bladesmen being cut down. Another unit for yeah, a rather depleted unit of Forest Bladesmen has also just been committed. Yeah, so I brought my Elder Royal Guard over to that area, and I was trying to use fire. It was just kind of to try to break the morale a little bit, but it really didn't help out that much. Another unit of Forest Bladesmen being brought forward. Whenever you have 6 units of this same thing, it definitely shows in the battle because it seems like you have like an unlimited supply of that unit pretty much. Yeah, so I have returned to firing the normal arrows into the flanks of these Iron Guard here. Ballista still firing at my Forest Bladesman right here. Ooh. This unit of Ironfoot Guard is just taking a beating because they're just exposing their whole back to those archers on the wall right there. Still 3 here, Edith. I would thought there would be only 2 by now, at least, but no, there's still 3. You can just see those those crazy arrow laws being brought in right now. It's rather funny though because these Ironfoot Guard just tank him like crazy and then finally start dying. You can just see lots of little clouds of red just pop up and then they finally start dropping after a while. Actually, you see some Eldraine weighted swordsmen have been brought over by Dark Elven to help me out on this area. However, because they are positioned a little too closely to this edge, they are going to be getting fired at by the ballista. You can see that the dwarves have definitely pushed forward though. They you can see where the first battle kind of was by the red capes my Hiri Dirith. Now they've pushed all the way up here just with these Ironfoot Guard. You can actually see Reprise has sent forward a couple units of Khazad warriors as well. And over here, actually, we kind of missed it. More airborne infantry. There's so much airborne infantry. I believe there were like 8 units of airborne infantry in this game because I believe all of the Dwarven players brought 2 units each. Some Khazad warriors also being brought over here by Reprise up to the area of Tempest Fox, who you can see has been pushed back quite a lot actually. You can see just 8 massive bodies right there. Still really nothing has gone on in the middle though, which was rather surprising to me. But we couldn't, like, it's not like we could just like leave units and go help the sides, because if we did then the dwarves could just like come in and just like sweep around all of our forces, which would definitely not be good. Ooh. Yeah, the Elven swordsmen are now starting to get shot at by the ballista, which is not good because they are a relatively expensive unit, I believe like 950 florins, and definitely not good to be losing them to artillery fire. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Some airborne infantry is also being brought up. Okay. I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's just my pug. Oh yeah, so my Royal Guard, Elder Royal Guard, is now out of ammo, so I'm going to commit them. They will do very well in the melee just because they are AP, as evidenced by their massive 2-handed axes. But I did want to kind of like reform them and then charge them in because they do have a pretty decent charge bonus. Oh, the trees. I want to get close, but then there's the trees. Still 3 Hiri Dirith. I don't know how, but there's still 3 of them. More arrow fire. This time, I believe, by some. Oh no. Jeez, I keep forgetting that I had this unit of Woodland Sentinels. No, I keep bringing units over to this side, and now I'm going to fire them. This time it is my Woodland Sentinels. Again, firing at this side. I am targeting these airborne infantry because they are definitely the deadliest unit right here at the moment. You can see now, though, that a large portion of the dwarves' reserves is being brought forward, including one of the catapults of Eggsloft on top. You can see more airborne infantry being brought up, as well as some Sons of the Fallen, Dwarven Noblemen, and a Mithril Guard. However, these ones are just kind of staying put for now. Oh, some Sons of Durin are also here as well. So definitely. Oh, and some more Ironfoot Guard. There was so much Ironfoot. There were so many Ironfoot Guard, airborne infantry, and horse bladesmen in this battle. I lost track how many times they were committed. Ooh, that ballista is still firing. You can see though that because of the fire of my Woodland Sentinels, they definitely are starting to thin out the Dwarven lines right here. The airborne infantry is now down to 39. Listen, now targeting my Elder Royal Guard, which is not a bad idea because they are very good in melee, but I'm definitely happy that he targeted them rather than, say, the Elder Animal Swordsman. Also, some archers that are now out of ammo have been brought over by Dark Elven King to help out this area. Oh, you can just see the bodies just starting to pile up. It looks like there's more, actually, if you kind of zoom out. There's just a large amount of bodies right there. The Ironfoot Guard, though, have definitely been depleted. This unit, I believe, yeah, that's pretty much the healthiest one. There are still some Khazad warriors, though. And some more stuff is being brought up as we speak. And that is in the form of teams of Ironfoot Guard. Ooh, okay. See a lot of the more expensive stuff is being brought up now. You can see some guards of Khazad-dûm who are in shield wall, some airborne infantry, some sons of Durin, and some Ironfoot halberds, as well as a couple, as well as one of Ironfoot axe throwers. Surprisingly, the dwarves have not brought up any crossbows, which I guess I'm not too surprised because I guess they wanted to wait and waste some of our ammo on like their infantry, which is definitely not a bad idea. See, I believe that is when my last unit of forest bladesmen being committed to the battle now. Because the dwarves, like, I mean, just look how much they've pushed forward. They've pushed forward like crazy. My woodland sentinels are still firing. They, like I said before, they do have a lot of ammo because they are a light archer unit. But it's also nice because they are AP. Firing right into the flanks of those Ironfoot Guard. Ooh, yeah, they're starting to push through. Those Ironfoot Guard are starting to wrap around these Elven swordsmen who are kind of out of place at the moment. You can see some Sindar archers who are also out of ammo are here as well to help out. Ooh. Even more volleys. I mean, the elves can just fire so fast, it's almost ridiculous. Okay, I believe... Yeah, I think that was like my last volley, maybe? Oh! Taking out a large number of those Ironfoot axe throwers, actually. Maybe that wasn't my last volley. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Ironfoot halberds are now running. They must have gone out of formation. Sons of Durin, airborne infantry, again being committed to my side. But the Sons of Durin, definitely, they...
Half the enemy force remains.
Yeah, so the Sons of Durin and the two very healthy units of airborne infantry definitely scared me, so I did save some of my ammo to fire at the Sons of Durin's backs as well as the airborne infantry. I also will bring forward my last unit of javelins. Ooh. But it's definitely timely, well, kind of timely. The dwarves probably should have been a little bit faster if they wanted to press their advantage, because we were actually allowed to kind of almost reform our lines because the dwarves had started to really thin out right here. So some Ironfoot axe throwers by MEJTZ being brought forward to Tundra's Fox's side because they will have an excellent position to throw their javelins at all the units up there. Or javelins, axes. See both units of the airborne infantry being brought up straight to my two healthiest units of forest bladesmen right here, and they will do a great deal of damage to them. So I am going to try to bring my Royal Guard around here to help out. Apparently not, never mind. Yes, okay, so the Woodland Warriors and the Elven Archers have been committed to kind of stem the flow of these Ironfoot Guard right here. Ooh, yeah, those airborne infantry charging straight into my forest bladesmen right there. And I can't actually see... Okay, there they are. I was gonna say, it's hard to see the dwarves because they're so short and there's like so many bodies here, it's kind of hard to see them. Yeah, here they are. The Sons of Durin are now charging forward right to the weak point right here where you can see we have like no units. Oh. Going we're actually over here to the Woodland Warriors and Elven Archers. Also, remember those three Hiri Deer that were fighting here forever? Well, there was only one left. So I sent him all the way back here. Because I thought that since he'd been fighting for so long, he deserved to go just chill out in the Great Hall for a while. But yeah. We'll go back over here now. And see some... Yeah, now the crossbowmen and the very elite units are being brought forward, like the Sins of the Fallen and the Guard. And it looks like, yeah, some crossbowmen are actually firing right now, just absolutely butchering the defenders right here. So, oh yeah, and some guards of Khazad-dûm are actually committed. They will do very, very well against pretty much anything that Tundra's Fox can throw at them. Yep, some iron halberds are also being brought forward. My archers are pretty much all out of ammo now. Besides the Elder Royal Council, actually. Yeah, my javelins are here. You can also see Tundra's Fox Sentinels are right there. But what was good for us is we actually dealt relatively quickly with these Sons of the Durin because I was able to fire at them with my Elder Royal Council, and I was able to fire at them with my javelins, so they were actually dealt with relatively quickly. You can see right there, they're just taking absolute beating from the arrows. Airborne infantry still fighting hard, definitely thinned out my line right here, to be sure, and did it very quickly, unfortunately. Hunter's Fox has committed his Sindar archers as well. Those poor Sons of the Durin are just getting Sons of Durin, not Sons of the Durin, are just getting absolutely butchered by arrows right now. And you can see my Elder Council being brought forward as well to throw their javelins. I actually don't know what to do. Don't remember. I mean, I think I tried to throw my javelins at them. Yeah, they are. Okay. I always am a little I'm always a little surprised that the javelins could throw so far, but yeah, that's cool. Ooh, those Sons of Durin already down to 41. See, I'm actually committing some Fury Dearth as well to this area right here, because that's definitely where we're the weakest. So yeah, these Sons of Durin already down to 31, definitely looking better for us on that side. However, over here it is not looking too great, to be sure. You can see that the Elven defenders have already started to thin right here because of the presence of these Guards of Khazad-dûm and the Ironfoot crossbows and axe throwers. You can see though that Hunter's Fox is trying to take some revenge on the crossbows with his sentinels of the Woodland Realms that are over on my side, firing straight into the backs of those Ironfoot crossbows. Trying to get a good angle though there because of the trees. Oh yes, okay, they actually have finally committed some troops in the middle. You can see some Ironfoot halberds going in against some Sylvan heavy swordsmen and some long spears. As well as some Ironfoot axe throwers. I believe they're trying to get into a spot where they can throw their axes. However, because it's on a slight hill, they won't be able to throw their axes to any great effectiveness. MEJTZ is also bringing up some more crossbows. And over here, things are again starting to sway back in our favor due to the presence of some Hiri Dirith and some Sindar archers who are definitely very good in melee. We have pretty much cut down almost all of the airborne infantry that was right here, stopping us from kind of stemming this area right here. But we will be able to cut down them relatively quickly and then be able to put some more units right here and not allow them to push forward right there right away again. Right here you can see that we just have a gaping hole in our defense, but I don't know if the dwarves actually noticed that quite in time and they were not able to exploit it right away. You can see that Reprise is setting up some Guards of Khazad-dûm though. Ooh, I believe they were in the vanilla game maybe, but they look very, very nice to be sure. Okay, you can also see some Mithril Guard. Not a general unit, I believe. No, yes, a general unit? Yes, a general unit is also being brought forward. I believe they're going to be committed to the middle. Also some Ironfoot pikemen and more crossbows being brought forward. The dwarves definitely doing a very, very heavy push right now. Over here, though, I believe these Sons of Durin were completely dealt with. There are still a few Ironfoot Guard and a few airborne infantry, but that's pretty much it. And over here, yeah, we pretty much were able to deal with all the dwarves right here, and will be allowed to kind of set up another defensive line. You can see the Guards of Khazad-dûm are winded, but they are finally here, and they will definitely do a lot of damage to all the units up here. A very, very good unit to be sure. Yes, I've also brought forward a unit of Sindar Blade Masters and these Woodland Sentinels. These Woodland Sentinels won't do very well because they are just an archer unit who are lightly armored, but still they'll be able to, okay, if supported, or used in a supporting role. Yes, okay, the Ironfoot Pikemen and Guards of Khazad-dûm have been committed. However, they're not trying to exploit this gaping hole in our defense. I was rather surprised by it, but it was good for us. And I do notice this hole, and I'm going to send forward some Hiri Dirith. However, MEJTZ was ready for this because of his crossbow right there. And he will keep this hole open because he's just going to keep firing his crossbows right at my Hiri Dirith, which I'm definitely not happy with, so I will actually take them away because I do not want them to lose them that way. I'm trying to give my Forest Bladesmen that are left anyway. I'm sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Anyway, I'm taking away my forest blades because I do want to give them a little bit of a breather. They've been fighting pretty much the whole battle, but yeah. You can see Tundra's Fox is actually committing some Sentinels of the Woodland Realm right here to this flank. Very helpful indeed. And over here is charging forward some other warriors right at these pikemen. Ooh, yeah, my hairy deer, they're starting to take quite a few losses to those crossbows, so I will run them out, which is fine, because they're actually not exploiting this hole in our defense, so as long as it's open, then I'm fine with it. As long as it's open and they're not putting anything through it, then I'm fine with that. Even here, though, they can still get shot at, so I'm going to have to retreat them even further. But just look at the amount of bodies right here, and there's still even more, there's still just tons and tons of dwarves and elves left, so it's definitely going to get even worse than this. I mean, just look how many dang bodies there are, holy cow. I might actually take a screenshot of that and put it as the thumbnail because that looks pretty insane actually. Anyway, we'll go take a quick look over here. There's some more interesting stuff going on. You can see some Mithril Guard right here have really begun to push through with the Ironfoot Halberds into the middle. So Dark Elven King has brought forward another unit of Linden Long Spears to kind of help stop that. And over here, the Ballistic Crew is getting cut down now by the Guards of Khazad-dûm from Slopped on top middle 2 Total War. He's trying to get his ballista back, and he actually is going to be able to do it. Nice. And you also see he is committing another unit of the Sylvan Axemen. He also has a couple units of, one unit of Woodland Warriors back here to help out. But definitely Tundra's Fox is starting to run low on infantry, because you can see he just has some Elder Council, few Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen left. I mean, that's a fully healthy unit, but I'm talking about that one over there as well. He's got a little bit of infantry left, not a whole lot, but still a decent amount. And back here, I think he also has. Oh, that's some. Okay, I thought it might have been his Galadrim veteran warriors, but no, that's just some units that had come back from routing. All I can see, even more crossbowmen being brought up, as well as another unit of Sons of Durin, and a ballista actually from Reprise. And you can see TR Egg Slopped on top. Many of 2 Total War is also bringing forward his Sons of the Fallen and his Mithril Guard, who have already taken some casualties. I don't know how. Okay. Oof, over here, now the Ironfoot Axe Throwers are going after my Hairy Deerth. My Hairy Deerth right here just cannot take a break from the Dwarven missiles. They're just getting absolutely wrecked from them. Tundra's Fox is actually sending over some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen this way. Okay. Surprised he didn't commit them over to his own area. Okay, my Woodland Sentinels also were committed because they had brought up some Hairs of Gundabad, as well as some other stuff, but they did take an absolute beating from the crossbows, so they really weren't that effective. Let's see who they're firing at. Now they're firing this way. Firing at my catapult crew, okay. Actually see some more Elder and Way Archers being brought over by Dark Elven King. So we are definitely running low on ammo to be sure, because you probably noticed that there's really has been no answer to these Ironfoot crossbowmen. No one's been firing at them because we're pretty much all out of ammo at this point, which is definitely not good for us. And the Ironfoot crossbows are actually a very good unit, because not only are, of course, are the crossbows, which means they are very, very effective at shooting shielded units, but they also actually pull out axes in melee, which means they are AP. He's actually pulling back some Galadrim veteran warriors into Sindar archers. And his ballista. Don't quite know yet what. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so the Guards of Khazad-dûm have taken quite a few losses, but they're still relatively healthy. They still have 39 units left. Well, unit models, I should say. And you can see right here that definitely there's not a lot of units right here defending. There's just some Sentinels of the Woodland Realms, a few Woodland Warriors, and that's pretty much it. You can see my Woodland Sentinels were cut down pretty much immediately by everything there. The Hammers of Gundabad are also there, so that means they're going to be taking a large number of our troops. And okay, yeah, you can see some Mithril Guard and some Dwarven Noblemen being moved up, as well as the unit of Axemen of Erebor. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, Elder Council, this is the last unit that actually still has ammo left, is also kind of like standing on the very, very edge of this, throwing their javelins. I believe they throw them at these crossbows. Yes, ooh. I was trying to silence those crossbows as well as I could, but really javelins are not the best answer to crossbows, especially when they're in loose formation like they are. Ooh. I mean, it's still going to take out a few of them, but still, it wouldn't be nearly as effective as if I had used archers, but of course, we're all out of ammo. Yes, and now there goes, that was the last volley of my javelins. So now I am completely out of missiles yeah, just completely out of missiles. Actually, no. These guys still have their bows out, so maybe they still have a little bit of ammo left. I don't know. Over here, though, because our defense is definitely starting to thin, Tundra's Fox is bringing forward some Elder Council. Yes, half of my forces gone now. You can see, still got a few Elder Royal Guard fighting, but they've been fighting pretty much the whole time, so they're very tired. And they're getting crossbowed and axe thrown. Okay, my catapult is now also firing. Maybe taking a portion? No, they didn't. Because the Sons of the Fallen were committed right here, as well as Mythical God. I was trying to take some hits on them because of just they're such a great unit. These units are so expensive and great. But I was actually not able to. My catapult missed, which was very unfortunate. You can see that Tundra's Fox actually has a second unit of Sylvan Staff Masters that has been brought forward to help out this area right here, as well as some Eldrin Way Spearmen who are being taken away. No, they're just setting up right here so they don't get crossbowed. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the dwarves are definitely starting to push through on both sides. And in the middle, how's it looking in the middle? In the middle, we are definitely starting to thin because of the presence of those dang Mythical Guard. That is definitely one of the hardest things. One of the hardest things to deal with in this series, because pretty much in these battles, if you're an elf player, you know that there's going to be 3 to 4 units of Mythical Guard, which is definitely hard to deal with. But also, I mean, it's pretty much the same with the dwarves, because there's going to be some Galadrin veteran warriors, Noldor Elder Nobles, and some Elder Royal Council. But still. Okay, so I have committed some Forest Bladesmen and some Heridir because you can see that the dwarves are definitely starting to push forward. Some, yeah, Dwarven Noblemen, Mythical Guard, Axemen of Erebor, Hammers of Gundabad, Iron Axors, a lot of AP to be sure right there. So yeah, they're really starting to push through now, which is definitely not good for us. Oh, you can see the Eldrin Spearmen are actually pushing forward, which is definitely not good, because that means they're just going to be getting crossbowed to death, which is definitely, yeah, like I said, definitely not good because they are a rather expensive unit.
The enemy are badly bloody.
Ooh, we can just see a lot of them going down.
Lost half their men.
Ooh, that's not good. Ooh, yeah, the sport unit of Heridir hasn't even fought really, but they're already down to 57 just because of the axes and the crossbows. Definitely not good. Yes, and you can see over here that the dwarves are starting to push kind of around the flank right here. They're starting to wrap around what's left of our forces defending this area. And just Fox is trying to throw his javelins, doing a pretty effective job of it as well, but they are getting targeted by the crossbows. Ooh, yeah, right into the flanks of those Dwarven Noblemen and Mythical Guard. That's a very good target indeed. Ooh, nice. Hopefully take off a few of their hit points. And over here you can see the Eldrin Spearmen have dropped really quickly because of the Mythical Guard and the crossbows. So definitely not looking too good for the Elven defenders at the moment. Which actually, you can see is being shown by the fact that we're doing a full-on retreat back into the caves. Now, the reason behind this was because I wanted to maybe just like set up, because the dwarves, don't have a whole lot left. It's 62 to 79. But I wanted to maybe set up like units like kind of like far away on the paths, just like way over here to allow the dwarves, you know, kind of to get in. But the dwarven players said they didn't care what happened, so we ended up just kind of like setting up like a units here, over there, and over here. So just kind of let them in a little bit, but not really not as far as I kind of wanted them to be. But still, what can you do? Okay, yeah, you can see that we are doing a full-on retreat. Sons of Fallen being committed right here against some Elven Race swordsmen. And over here, the dwarves have pretty much broken through. There's just a few forest bladesmen left to kind of hold them back and cover the retreat of of what's left of all three dwarven elven armies, I should say. The Elven swordsmen are actually, yeah, they actually made it out with still 97. I was rather surprised that they would actually be able to make it out with any at all, because they were actually fighting right here, but they were able to run away, and the dwarves really have no chance of catching them because dwarves are really, really slow. Again, I actually kind of lost micro, kind of just let my units just sit out here, but I will actually be able to get them in before the dwarves are able to get here. Oh, just in case you were wondering, my Elder Royal Council are out of ammo now, by the way. They look very nice indeed. You can see the horde of elves just running over the bridge right now. And the nice thing about this gate is you don't have to use a ram to get through it if you're an attacker, you know, it doesn't open or anything. But the nice thing about it is you actually cannot fire anything through it, which is good for the defenders because otherwise they'd just be able to crossbow us to pieces through the gate. So now realize that all those Cinder archers have white hair. I actually didn't know it. Kinda cool. Okay, yeah, so I have started to push the rest of my troops across, and over here you can see the dwarves starting to reform. This unit of Mithril Guard actually did take quite a few losses, down to about half strength. There's still one civilian heavy swordsman. Ooh, taking out one of those halberds actually. Ooh, he took out both of them. Good job for you, man. He took out both of the halberds, but now he's gonna get killed by these Mithril Guard. And no, there he's dead instantly. I feel bad for him. Yeah, so the dwarves are pretty much just pushing through what's left that we had. Yeah, pretty much nothing at this moment. And they're going to slowly but surely start making their way over to the bridge, probably trying to give their troops a little bit of a rest before being committed again to the fight. Yeah, there's still 3 units of Mithril Guard. They're somewhat depleted. That one's still at 54. One's at like 49. This one's at like 32. Oh, Tundra's Fox Elder Council might actually be able to make it in. And I think I don't know if he was like maybe trying to get like a last shot or something at these Mithril Guard who are in shield wall, or if he just forgot about his ballista because Tundra's Fox's ballista is still just sitting out here. But the dwarves are really not capitalizing on his loss of micro, because they're targeting the Elder Council with crossbows, and they're not like sending anything forward to chase after this ballista, which I thought was rather curious. I think we'll go ahead and speed this up though, just until the dwarves get here. Okay, he must be out of ammo then because he's just running his crew back inside. You can see a few of the elves are having troubles. They don't know how to get on the bridge and they can't walk across it. And some Hiridirith of mine, some Elder Archers, some more Hiridirith, and some Elder Royal Council. A lot of flag bearers. I don't know why the flag bearers are so dumb. Oh, he might make it. That Hiridirith might make it. I don't know. He's close. Yeah, he made it. Good job for you. You figured it out. Elves are smart. Yes, the dwarves are starting to march forward. Still slowly making their way. These elves are still just sitting out here on the bridge, trying to figure out how to get onto it. And over here you can see we're starting to set up our defense. Still got 2 units of completely healthy Sindar Blade Masters. A couple units of Hiridirith. No, 3 units. Two units of pretty healthy Hiridirith, and then like one that's pretty depleted. And then I have some Elder Council who are out of ammo, and my Elder Royal Council, which is somewhere. My General's unit. Don't know where. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to just put my units kind of far away, allow them to get in. My Sindar Blade Masters over here, my Elder Council's over there. Some Hiridirith. And Dark Elven King's Catapult, which is still has full ammo, is here as well. But yes, definitely this was a very fun battle because there was a lot of really good artillery hits. Not only in the beginning of the battle, but also here at the end with Thranduil King's catapult. Oh man, these poor elves. Oh, they're gonna get killed if they don't get across soon. Oh, there one goes. The Elven Way Archer. He made it. There's still a Ballista crew member, Banner, and one of my Hero Deerth Banner Bearers. So they're gonna get killed by either the catapult or these iron axe throwers. No, run! Run across the bridge. Oh, nope. Okay. And he's dead. And there's only one left. One of my Hero Deerth guys. Oh, he killed one. Good job for you. And he's bloodied, so he's probably gonna die soon. And he's dead. Got killed by the catapult crew member. So it looks like some axe throwers are being sent in first. Unsupported, they're just gonna get butchered though, so he better try to get some units up there. A decent ballista crew, some solid staff masters, false lords, spearmen, and the catapult. And back here is where a lot of the archers are, where like some Galadrim veteran warriors, and some Noldor Elder Nobles and some Boquindi. I believe the Noldor Elder Nobles and the Galadrim veteran warriors hadn't even fired a one volley, so they do have full ammo. I believe that was the Lothlorien horn. Oh yeah, here they are, the iron axe throwers. And here we are, some Sons of the Fallen and some Sons of Durin. These guys will be able to do very well. The iron axe throwers are a little bit worse. They are AP, but still. Against the Sons of the Fallen, the Elven Wizard will struggle, but he does have some Smith of Eregion here to help out. And the Sons of Durin would be able to do relatively well against the False Lords, however, because they're getting shot in the back, or side rather, by the Galadrim veteran warriors and Noldor Elder Nobles. They're going to be absolutely butchered, because they are, of course, shock infantry. Their hit points will protect them for a little while, but sooner or later they will fall. Now see some crossbowmen from MEJTZ being brought forward. And some Mithril Guard. Let's see. I feel like they should probably just push forward everything at once. I mean, because they still have like a full healthy unit of Dwarven Noblemen, Guards of Khazad-dûm. Still have a lot left. I feel like you should probably just push everything forward at once. Otherwise, you're just gonna. If you go in waves, it's never smart because you're just going to get butchered right away. Ooh, dang! Dark Elven King's catapult getting active right away, taking out some of those Mithril Guard as well as some Sons of the Fallen. Also, you can see I have committed some Hero Deerth as well as some Cinder Blade Masters. Now it looks like the Iron Axe throwers are being targeted, but that looks more like maybe the arrows of the Boquindi are firing at them. Could be wrong. Probably am. Now Pizza Maker 90 is setting in some Guards of Khazad-dûm. Oh wait, I just realized it was on 2 speed, my bad. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal because it's pretty much just a long choke point battle at this point. Oh, dang. Those Dwarven Noblemen, a very, very expensive, good unit, just got absolutely wrecked by the catapult again and again. Oh! There goes the general. Pizza Maker's 90 general has just been catapulted to death. What? How unfortunate. Jeez. Over here, the Sons of Durin are still at 68. After taking so many volleys, I rather expected them to drop quicker, but no, they're still doing pretty good. Taking out quite a few false lords as well. Oh, okay. Some of the fallen are just pushing through like the Elven Spearmen archers or nothing. Oh, more catapult fire from Dark Elven King. Like I said, there was great artillery pretty much the whole battle. My catapult crews back there. Oh, yet another good hit. This time taking out some Mordor Noblemen and some crossbows. Crossbows actually were able to get a volley off. Actually, that's nice. Oh. I think that was my Sindar Blade Master that actually killed that general. Yeah, I think so. I believe that was Egg slopped on top Medieval Two-Total Wars general, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that his general was in that unit. Sons of the Fallen. Oh. Another unit of Mythril Guard is being brought forward. However, they're most likely just going to get catapulted. Artillery is definitely one of the best ways to deal with the very elite units of the dwarves. Over here, though, these Iron Axe Throwers are doing really quite well against the Fury Deerth and the Sylvan Axemen. Alright, some Hammers of Good, some Iron Pikemen are also being brought forward. Oh! Hang out even more of those Mythril Guard and Guards of Khazad-dûm. And some more stuff is being committed, like some Elderwood Swordsmen, and you can see my Elder Royal Council are going to begin to back these Fallis Lords, because there is a large number of dwarves being brought in as we speak. Mostly some Ironfoot Crossbows, Hammers of Good, and some Axemen of Erebor. Yes, so the Elder Royal Council are now being committed, as well as the Blade Masters. Oh my goodness!
The battle seems to be
Jeez.
in our favor. From
That
such
catapult
findings
is just
of
absolutely
victory,
wrecking the poor dwarves right now. I mean, there's really nothing they can do unless they could somehow get their crossbows to fire at the catapult crew, but still, just insane. I mean, and there's just so many elves that they probably won't be able to push through to get to the actual catapult to stop it from firing either. I mean, it's not like it's like this catapult crew is just having a field day because it's just so close. Like, the dwarves are so close, they can just pretty much fire and it kills everyone. Oh, the Axemen of Erebor, after taking a huge volley, just actually got routed. They're broken, fighting to death. Now they're just fighting. Wow. It's not good for the dwarves. Not looking too good. It's 89 to 69% at the moment. Oh! There goes another general. That was, I don't know who's general, but again taken out by Dark Elven King's catapult. This catapult has already taken out 2 dwarven generals, which I thought was kind of interesting. I believe that one actually had a little bit of friendly fire though on my Cinder Blade Masters, because my Cinder Blade Masters are starting to push forward a little bit. Yeah, taking quite a bit of friendly fire in return. But I am fine with that because the catapult fire is definitely putting the hurt on these dwarves. These Axemen of Erebor seem almost as smart as those elves who are having troubles getting on the bridge because they're routing, but they're standing still. Dwarves are also smart. Yeah, so I've committed pretty much everything I had left. My Cinder Blade Masters, some Fury Deerth, my Elder Council, and my Elder Royal Council. Ooh, more catapult firing, again targeting. No, looks like they were going after the crossbow. I thought they might have been going after the Mythril Guard, but no. 91 to 71. Still within 20%, which surprisingly is much closer than the other battles that we had done. Let's see what they still have out here. Still got 119 Ironfoot Crossbows and 91 Dwarven Noblemen, but that's pretty much it. So it looks definitely not good for the Dwarves and pretty decent for the Elves. Especially because these Dwarven defenders right here, attackers are being surrounded, and that is not going to be good for them at all. I mean, they are Mythril Guard, which means they will have a pretty desperate and brave last stand, but they're going to be cut down after being surrounded relatively quickly. Ooh, you can see my Cinder Blade Master just killing the Axemen of Erebor right there. I don't actually know where the last general is of the dwarves. Is he out here with the Dwarven Nobleman? No, he's not. I do not know where he is then. Maybe he's in the fight somewhere. Okay, yeah, so the Gladden Warriors are also being committed because they are out of ammo. But it looks like the Nolder Elder Nobles still have a little bit of ammo. Ooh, yeah. Even though the Mythril Guard do have shields, the Nolder Elder Nobles will be able to do a great deal of damage to the Mythril Guard. Let's see if we can't find the last Dwarven General. Maybe there are no generals left, I don't know. Because I cannot find him. Okay, so the Dwarven noblemen have also been committed now. So now pretty much besides them, the only thing the dwarves have left is that unit of crossbows who are marching across the bridge as we speak. Well, I guess not as we speak, I guess as I speak to you, because you're not really speaking to me. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the Dwarven noblemen are pretty much surrounded now, and over here you can see that the Mythril Guard are being surrounded and will be cut down pretty quickly. My Elder Royal Council actually have lost 3 troops, surprisingly. Okay, there he goes. Cut down by the Sindar Archer of Tundra's Fox. So it was pretty interesting. All 4 of the Dwarven generals died right here. 2 of them by Dark Elven King's Catapult, 1 by Tundra's Fox, Sindar Archer, and 1 by my Sindar Blade Master. But I believe the Catapult will not fire anymore because there's just too great a risk of friendly fire. Plus, I mean, it's kind of over at this point. I mean, there's just so many elves left. Another of my Elder Royal Council has actually been cut down. Oh, I also remember that one Hiri Dirith? Well, I committed him to the fight because I thought after fighting the whole battle and then having a rest, he should probably go back in the fight. He could then afterwards he could, like, you know, write a poem about the battle or something. But no, that's not that didn't happen because he just got killed. It's rather sad. He was fighting. He had like fought the entirety of the first of the like main battle out there, and then he comes back, fights in the last battle, and then gets killed instantly. So that is one of the Dwarven players submitting defeat. Because pretty much all they have left, like I said, probably like 4 times now, are these Dwarven noblemen and the crossbowmen. I want to try to find that one Hiri Dirith, but I don't know. Oh, actually, there's the Lothlorien general right there, taking absolute beating from those Dwarven noblemen. If he's not careful, he's going to lose his general. Is that him right there? No. I want to find him. He might already be dead at this time, but I don't know to be sure. Or to be, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find him. So, I think I'll just go ahead and speed this up. The last stand of these Dwarven noblemen. Our Royal Council actually down to 88 now. So it was definitely a fun battle. Surprisingly, did not end the way all the other ones had been ending, in a super easy victory for the dwarves, but it was a rather clear victory for the elves this time. So yeah, definitely fun. You can see that we're actually killed all the noblemen and are pushing out now after these crossbows. Whoa, it's actually a lot. Oh, my Elder Royal Council are down to 85. Okay. They're gonna just have a field day against these poor micro crossbows. Anyway, yeah. So after this, I'm hoping to do the 300 subscriber special, which I kind of want to do a like Rune versus Harad battle, like a 3v3 or something on Huge. But if you guys don't want to see that, just go ahead and tell me. Anything else you want to see, just go ahead and put it in the comments. I also will do the third part of this probably on Moria with the dwarves defending, because that will actually be the home field advantage for the dwarves instead of the elves this time, as this time was. Yeah, my poor one Hiri Dirith, he died. But it was all for the greater good, I guess you could say. The elves actually did win. Surprisingly. There must be like some random crossbowman stuck back here or something, or a nobleman. Oh, look, he's back there. Banner Bearer. Proud Banner Bearer, the last of the Dwarven army that was sent to take Thranduil's halls. And there he goes. No, he's still alive. I see the banner. Thought he died, but no, he's still alive. Ooh, there he goes. And that's it.
Our foe is utterly vanquished.
Okay.
All who remember remember this day. Remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
So yeah, definitely a very, very fun battle. Big thank you to all the players involved. Dark Elven King, Tundra's Fox, MEJTZ, Egg Slopped on Top, New Tuto War, Maker 90, and Reprise. So, I had 2,300 men deployed, and I did have the most kills on my team, 2,961. Behind him was Tundra's Fox, and Dark Elven King got 1,300. And over here, you see that MEJTZ got the most kills for the Dwarves with 1,336 kills. We'll take a quick look at the exact statistics for my army, and then we'll just go ahead and battle. Alright, Elder Royal Council getting 513 kills. Elder Royal Guard getting 491. Elven Sentinels actually got 249 as well. The Elder Council did pretty well as well. Catapult got 298 kills. I believe Dark Elven King said his Catapult got around 500 or something, maybe like 480. I don't know exactly. Some of my Hero Deer did okay, like this one had 112 kills, and my Forest Bladesmen, actually a couple of them actually did very well, getting 182, 192, 123. Yeah, definitely a good unit. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you didn't, just go ahead and tell me in the comments what I did wrong. And farewell wherever you fare, till your eyries receive you at your journey's end.